Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Should I keep going? Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.
Something else that the jurors saw today that sort of connects it back to this alleged criminal enterprise are 7 photos of people that were very close to Sean Combs, one even his former chief of staff. And these were all people that Cassie Ventura was able to name and explain the functions in terms of what they did: security, driver, chief of staff, someone that handled financials. So it's showing that she knew some of these people, again, because she was with him, around him for so long.
They never thought she'd speak. They never thought she'd survive long enough to testify. They never thought one woman could bring down an empire built on silence. But Cassie Ventura did. And the moment she stepped into court between May 13th and May 16th, she set off a domino effect that's still shaking the industry. This isn't just the story of Diddy. This is the story of what happens when the walls start to close in on an entire generation of celebrity power players and what they'll do to escape the fallout. Let's begin. Cassie's testimony wasn't just emotional, it was surgical. She listed names, roles, dates. She identified Diddy's inner circle, from his chief of staff to his security.
A dozen times.
17 times! I've been on the show 17 times!
And during his first appearance in 2006, Combs wasn't really shy about sharing private details.
I'm definitely a nighttime person.
Like what time do you stay up till?
I stay up till like maybe 6 in the morning. I'm back up at like 10:30, 11.
6 in the morning? What do you do every night till 6 in the morning? You don't go to clubs every night.
No, I mean, I make love a lot. And,
That's
Ellen,
my favorite answer ever.
Many clips of his guest spots have resurfaced recently, including discussions between Combs and Ellen about his infamous parties.
It'd go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them.
And years later, Combs said he wanted to attend one of Ellen's parties.
I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right, not too late though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not gonna let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are gonna have blisters. You're gonna be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
Now, the two seem to kind of dance around the apparently open secret that Combs' parties were beyond wild, with reports of drugs and multiple participants and more. And as the allegations against Combs have mounted, many have called his interviews with Ellen now creepy.
So no money on you?
I mean, it's just a little bit of money on me.
Oh, you do have money on you. Lord have mercy. Where are you going after this? It's all 20s. Where are you going after this? What are you doing?
You know we doing what we plan to do, girl.
To his driver, to the man who managed his money. The prosecution connected her claims to alleged sex trafficking, coercion, violence, drug abuse, and blackmail, all happening in private mansions and hotel suites. Then, the jury saw 7 photographs, 7 people close to Combs, one even listed as his chief of staff. And guess what? Cassie named every single one. That's when the panic started. Enter Jaguar Wright. Wright isn't a stranger to controversy, but what she did next was explosive. She said publicly, Jennifer Lopez should be charged, Mary J. Blige should be charged, Jay-Z should be charged, Khaled, Rick Ross, Usher, all of them should be on trial. Off of Justin Bieber alone, Usher should be tried. According to Jaguar Wright, this wasn't about one man. This was about a criminal enterprise of silence and protection. She said Cassie's testimony sent shockwaves because everyone knew.
I think it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit.
That some were doubting you. Did you ever question, like, am I on the right path?
Oh, I never question that. Still don't. Never will. God leads me to do everything I do.
Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it.
Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
You're hitting it off.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher.
But no one spoke. And now, they're running. Let's break down the timeline of the exodus. The celebrities who Wright claims suddenly fled the U.S. after Cassie's courtroom revelations. Jay-Z booked a private flight to Europe within days of the trial. Wright said he felt uneasy when she mentioned he was at one of Diddy's FOs, private freak-off parties with other industry elites. No charges were filed against him, but Wright says his fear was real, not guilt, but anticipation. Pharrell Williams flew to Milan for a fashion event just after Cassie's testimony. The trip, according to Wright, was pre-planned, or so they claimed. She called the timing too convenient. Scooter Braun moved his family to Canada within 24 hours of the story going viral. His official reason?
It started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very
Family priorities. Behind the scenes, Wright claims Scooter feared being pulled in for testimony. Kim Kardashian allegedly mentioned in Cassie's testimony jealous during a taping, suddenly jetted off to South Africa on a business expansion trip. Her team claimed it was about beauty branding, but Wright says it was about avoiding Los Angeles media. Rihanna also mentioned, present during a humiliating moment, Cassie recounted, checked into a luxury villa in Ibiza, Spain, and was later seen in a quiet cafe in Bonaire. No press, no statements, just distance. Chad Ochochinco Johnson, allegedly mentioned as someone Diddy called to pick Cassie up in 2015. The moment the testimony hit headlines, he was on a plane to Dubai. And that's not all. Wright points to a darker truth. She asks, why is it that everyone who tries to expose the truth ends up dead or silenced? Then she brings up Uptown Records, the label where it all began. It started with 5 figures: Andre Harrell, Heavy D, Kim Porter, Al B, Sure Sean, Puffy Combs. And now, only Puffy and Al are left. Andre, dead. Heart attack. Heavy D, dead. Collapsed. Kim Porter, dead. Pneumonia? Or was it toxins? Jaguar says all of them were writing tell-all books, and they all died before publishing. Al B. Sure? He was working on a documentary about his life. He fell into a coma before it could be completed. Wright asks, why is Diddy the only one who never has accidents, never ends up in a hospital, never gets silenced? Then comes Jay-Z. Wright doesn't hold back. She accuses Jay-Z of setting up Dame Dash, stealing the image and identity of Big L, destroying DeHaven, even being connected to Aaliyah's plane crash through director Hype Williams. Her theory? Aaliyah rejected Jay-Z, so he cleared the path for Beyoncé, who was struggling at the time. The plane, the setup, all of it orchestrated. She connects free from 106 and Park, Mary J. Blige and Aaliyah all sitting together talking about loss, when 2 of them, allegedly, are victims themselves. Think about it. Wright doesn't just target the artists, she calls out the lawyers. Shah Holly, a top entertainment attorney, reportedly moved out of the country just days after Cassie's courtroom statements. Her excuse? Tax planning. Wright calls it fear. And she says that mainstream media is playing along, calling these disappearances vacations or Fashion Week. But they're not. They're exits. By now, Jaguar Wright is on fire. She says, no more alleged, no more filter. I told the truth. You called me crazy. You slandered my name, but guess what? I'm still here.
Where she tried to help Diddy, help Chris Brown and yada, yada, yada. And then gave him the that gross nickname that was found on Twitter. Yikes. What are your thoughts on Ellen? Do you think misunderstood hero, or is she a villain?
Degenerate. And not because she's lesbian, because I'm bisexual. I remember that Ellen episode. It was very groundbreaking, and I hated the way they shamed her. I hated the way they shamed her, but she did what everybody else does. She conformed. And, Ellen has her own proclivities, but right now, I'm on, I hate Ellen over Twitch. Like, I'm never going to get over Twitch. I'm never going to get over the fact that even in this new special that she did, pretty much telling everybody to kiss her ass and love her because she made nice look cool, even though she's a like, I'm mad that there was no acknowledgement or even honoring Twitch. Like, I don't know if anyone has noticed, she's pretty much acted like Twitch never happened.
It's tragic what happened to Twitch.
I don't understand how Harvey Leviathan was able to get to the scene of the incident so quickly, because it was supposed to be an ooey idol, right? Last time I checked, people don't text TMZ and say, hey.
And every word I say from now on is going to ruin the lives of the ones who thought I'd stay silent. She names Doja Cat, Beyoncé, Lady Gaga, and 2 Chainz as just a few of the artists who might be next. She says, "You want to know what a box cutter feels like? I can tell you. I got the scars to prove it. Cassie's story? That's just the tip of the iceberg. I've lived it." So now we ask, what are they running from? A subpoena? A public meltdown? A documentary? Or their own guilt? Cassie's testimony wasn't just about abuse, it was about a system. And that system is now falling apart, piece by piece. Jaguar ends her rant with a chilling reminder. It's going to be the women who bring them down, the ones they tried to silence, the ones they called crazy, the ones they underestimated. This is no longer just about Diddy, this is about the architects, the protectors, the ones who knew and did nothing. If you're still asking why celebrities are fleeing the US, why their Instagram posts are suddenly from Milan, Dubai, South Africa, Ibiza, ask yourself, what are they afraid of? Thank you for watching. This is just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button because we're not done yet. Drop a comment with # no more silence if you made it to the end and tell us who you think is next to fall.